Hey friends, welcome to or welcome back to another episode of Cold-Blooded Serial. I am your host and true crime bestie, Tika. Friends, listen, before the holidays are too far gone, I figured I would give you guys a holiday episode. It's Christmas time. In 1993, the snow is snowing. The snow is falling. There's snow on the ground. The lights are still up. The Christmas trees are still up. You're probably enjoying leftovers, still drinking your eggnog, still watching holiday movies. And it's just a happy time for most people. Suddenly, it sounds like a bomb exploded and your ears begin to ring. What happened? If you're a neighbor to one of the Fowlers, that's exactly what happened. Allow me to share with you the story of the Snug Harbor court bombings that took place on December 28th, 1993. In a time frame of 90 minutes, a series of bombs exploded in Rochester, New York, Cheektowaga, which is a suburb of Buffalo, New York, a rural town called West Valley, and another small town called Hogansburg, which is southeast of Buffalo. The size and weight of the bombs weren't immediately determined, but all were delivered on the afternoon of Tuesday, December 28, 1993. The bombings all appeared to be connected, all exploding around 6:30 p.m., but it wasn't immediately clear who was behind it and why. Thomas A. Constantine, the superintendent of New York State Police at the time, said, virtually all of the targets appear to have been related to each other. There has been a devastating loss in the Fowler family tonight. Eleanor Fowler was killed when she opened the package in the kitchen of her suburban home in West Valley. About 7 miles east of Buffalo, her husband, Robert Fowler, was killed at work in Cheektowaga, along with his co-worker, John O'Donnell. Then, in Rochester, New York, which is about an hour away from Buffalo, Pamela Epperson, who is the daughter of Eleanor Fowler, and her boyfriend, Richard Urban, were killed when a bomb exploded inside of their private townhouse apartment at 55 Snug Harbor Court. About 255 miles northeast of Buffalo, in Hogansburg, Pamela's uncle, William Lazor, who is the brother of Eleanor Fowler, was suspicious of the package, and he used a rake to try to open the package. Upon opening it, he was wounded in the leg and chest when it exploded. These family members were all killed in separate explosions when they unwrapped packages that they received and unknowingly detonated the bombs when they opened the lids. So, what happened? Because this is just really strange that mom, daughter, stepdad, and uncle all received a bomb on the same day that exploded around the same time. So not only did they receive the bomb, other relatives related to the Fowlers received bombs as well. So Lucille Fowler, who was the daughter of Eleanor and Robert Fowler, called the police when she received a bomb because she was just suspicious of the package. Her boyfriend, Scott Kemp, also received a bomb at his job at Lakeville Correctional Facility. And when he received it, he refused it. He was like, no, I'm good. I don't trust it. And it was eventually disarmed in a delivery service van. Their intuition is actually what saved their lives, because had they just assumed that it was just a present, they would have ended up dead as well. So, the investigation resulted in the arrest and conviction of Michael Stevens, who's 53 years old, and his accomplice, Earl Figley, who's 56. Michael Stevens' motive for the bombing was to punish the family of his girlfriend. What a psycho. I feel like his thought process was like, oh, ex-girlfriend, like, you pissed me off one last time. Like, I'm gonna hurt you to the core and like harder, like harder than hurting you to the core, because he didn't send a bomb to his girlfriend. He wanted her to feel a lifelong pain by killing her mom, killing her sister, killing her uncle, killing her stepdad. And if her other sister would have opened that present, he would have killed both of her sisters. He wanted her to feel like such excruciating pain that would stay with her for the rest of her life. That's evil, but that's my opinion. So let's find out what happened. Brenda Lazar, who is the daughter of Eleanor Fowler, met Michael Stevens after he got out of jail in 1989, and they quickly moved in together. He had previously served 20 months in jail for overselling ads in store coupon books under the alias David Creditford. Like, seriously, that name doesn't even sound real. His defense attorney actually says that Michael was a con man who thought he was smarter than anyone else. And I can see that just by that name. Like, he thought he was slick with that name. Like, oh, I'm going to fool everybody. But that last name is terrible. The defense attorney also said that he reputedly suffered from emotional instability, hence the bombings. So now we're going to fast forward to 1993 because there's not a lot of information on this. I dug up what I could and put the pieces together. Now we fast forward to 1993. Brenda Lazar, who is 31 years old, and Michael Stevens, who is 53, have a 2-year-old daughter together. And the two of them began having issues about how they should raise their child. He blamed all of their problems on her Native American family. So I'm assuming her family was like, hey, let's raise her with some of our traditions. And he's like, no, she's part white too. Let's raise her with my white American traditions. He began to really resent her family because they excluded him from both Thanksgiving and Christmas festivities. So the crazy thing is, his friend, Earl Figley, who they met in prison, and they actually went shopping for 55 pounds of dynamite and 50 blasting caps in Mount Vernon, Kentucky on June 30th. So he's been planning this for like half a year. And I guess if they would have invited him to the Christmas festivities, maybe he would have changed his mind. I guess he's like, you know what? I've had it with this Native American family. They're not inviting me to my Christmas and Thanksgiving traditions. I'm going to take them all out. I'm going to hurt my ex-girlfriend. So Michael Stevens says, it was a family feud. We had concerns that the family objected to my influence over the child. You know, like, he's her dad. So I understand him wanting to be a part of her life, but to kill your daughter's grandmother and aunts and uncles, like, it's just insane. So Earl Figley tells the court how he drove the explosives to Rochester, where him and Michael built several dynamite bombs. So according to the court papers, Earl Figley told the federal agents that he and Michael Stevens had one of the bombs delivered to an apartment complex in Rochester, New York, where Pamela Epperson and Richard Urban were killed. 6 bombs in brown cardboard boxes were dropped off by delivery companies or by the U.S. Postal Service, and 4 of those 6 bombs exploded. Like I said earlier, it seemed like because Brenda Lazar was the mother of his child, he didn't want to kill her. He didn't want to leave his child an orphan, but he wanted to cause her the most pain that he could possibly cause her without actually killing her. So, investigators said that when the latch of the tackle box was opened, A circuit apparently was closed and the bomb was triggered. They described the bombs as anti-personnel devices filled with shrapnel, and it was designed to kill. The arrangement showed sophistication. FBI agent David Webster says whoever did this knew exactly what they were doing. So authorities said that the two men, Michael Stevens and Earl Figley, can face the federal death penalty if found guilty of transporting the explosives allegedly used in the slaying across state lines. The men, both of whom are ex-convicts, were charged in the U.S. District Court in Rochester, New York, and held without bail. So, yeah, merry belated Christmas. What do you guys think about this episode? This is a short one, but I've never heard of this before, so I felt like it would be good to share, especially around the holidays, because, Christmas did just pass. Thanks for listening. Stay safe, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.